Her big thing is fatigue. Her big thing about she absolutely can't get up out of the chair in the morning. As the day goes on, she gets a little better. Her fever part seems to have kind of subsided now. A lot of congestion. My goodness. Oh man, it's just terrible. I was just sure I'd be right down there with her, you know. But this long into it, for a week or 10 days, how long ago she got her test work, and it just right there. I'm trying to be careful. I've got a bottle of alcohol and Kleenex and alcohol, everything. Don't touch nothing, don't get around. But you can't avoid it in your bag.
Turn on the AC.
I will. Thank you.
I totally get it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, you know, some people it just knocks the hammer out of them. Some people don't get it so good. How you doing, Taylor?
How are you?
Matt's here.
Yeah, I made it.
Okay, no problem. Coach is gonna open it.
Okay, perfect. I can hit it up next time or next time around.
No problem, we'll be back.
But no, you don't, whatever.
Julia's here, so she's not late.
Inside the city.
Everybody sign in?
That's my favorite word.
Okay.
Oh, the Fudge Fairy has been here this year.
Fudge Fairy.
Will you put them on campaign signs in the spring, please?
Okay.
Vote for the Fudge Fairy.
Probably won't happen.
Okay, it's 6 o'clock, and I'm gonna call the Loudon County Commission meeting to order for Monday, December 6th, 2021. First up is a public hearing. Step to the, well, what our table is, that was a podium, and tell us the two rezones.
It is being fixed. Actually, we're doing.
Item 6A will be a resolution amending the zoning map of Loudon County, Tennessee pursuant to Chapter 7, 13-7-105 of Tennessee Code annotated to rezone from R1 Suburban Residential District to C2 Commercial District, Loudon County Tax Map 007, Parcel 62.00, located at 19666 Highway 11 East, Loudon County, Tennessee, situated in the 5th Legislative District. And B will be a resolution adopted by Loudon County Commission accepting the private portion of Baxter Bryant Road into the public road system located in the 3rd Legislative District of Loudon County, Tennessee.
Okay. Jim, those will be voted on in just a few minutes on 6A and 6B.
I'm gonna go ahead and make my motion so you don't have to read it again.
This is your folks' time to speak to the public here right now that won't speak on.
John Martin is signed up to speak.
Thank you. I'm John Martin. My wife, Ebsco, and I live at 13811 Old Stage Road. Property right east of the property in question, right east and south of it. I have an interest in some training in plants, and that's part of the reason we were excited to find this land here. Again, want to use it, it's a little over an acre, to be a little more self-sufficient, take care of it, steward it, and maybe involve some other people that would want to be involved to be helped with what we produce. My wife and I want to express our concerns, and we are not the only ones concerned about these things, as you will hear. We're concerned about the traffic on Old Stage Road in that area. Lights, light pollution, noise, trash, access by strangers and trespassing, and other adverse effects to our property from the adjoining property. We realize now it's zoned residential, and of course all of those things would potentially happen too. But we are concerned about how that would change with commercial rezoning. And we're not wanting to say how others use their property, but we are concerned about how our property would be adversely affected by things on that property. We understand a resolution, and please forgive me if I'm not doing things in the proper order, but we understand the resolution will be made to limit, if the rezoning is granted to commercial, to the stated purpose of agricultural retail sales. We would like to support that. And we agree with others in our little community that there should be no access to the property from either Old Stage Road or Shipley Lane. We're asking for a 25-foot minimum buffer zone on the east side of the Horn property, west side of our property, 13811 Old Stage Road, with the said buffer zone to be cleaned out so the Horn property owner can use the timber. That's an important resource for them as whoever would own that property. Some very nice trees there. But we also want noxious invasive plant material to be removed. Examples of that would be the imported English ivy that's full of seeds growing up in the trees and taking over, the imported honeysuckle, Japanese privet, and then of course our native poison ivy and even eastern red cedar, which will affect my ability to produce good apples because they are a host to each other for cedar apple rust. And then the area to be replanted with a mixture of non-harmful plant material to be determined. But that would depend on the kind of plants that would do well in those places, the conditions there, and any adverse effects that they might cause. We don't want to add to any problems, please. We are requesting a privacy fence along the west side of the buffer zone, the type to be negotiated with the new owners and us. And at the top of the hill, back of our property, we're also requesting 25-foot minimum buffer zone on the south side of the Horn property. And with what we know now, we don't anticipate needing, hope we don't, or even wanting a privacy fence up there. Appreciate this opportunity to present this. Again, some of these things we've talked about in our little community, and I don't know how everything else will be presented to you all, but thank you.
Thank you. John was the only one that signed up, so I'll close the public comments for the public hearing now.
Mr. Chairman, let me go ahead while we're in the public hearing and give
Go ahead.
y'all a little bit of update, background on what it is. I spent a lot of time with several of these folks, meeting with them and looking at their properties. I've spent an enormous amount of time with Bob Bowman on the phone, emails, texts, back and forth. And so when it first came up, of course, the request is to rezone the entire parcel. And my little pointer, I had my pointer, it's gonna look so good, and it don't show up on there. The property that's in question, the blue line you see, all of those are the residential properties. Every one of those are residentials up here, and this is Old Stage Road that the residential properties are touching, exactly right there. Now, the property in question is a real jaggedy piece that goes back through there. So the applicant had requested the planning commission to have it rezoned commercial. They ultimately did approve it. There was no one there. There was a lot of, everybody didn't know what was gonna be on the planning commission meeting, so we're behind the planning commission meeting when these folks reached out to me. At the planning commission meeting, the applicant stated that the property would be for a farm and ag equipment store. And that's from the minutes of the October 19, 2021 meeting. So I talked to Bob, can we turn this one down, Bob? All the property at the top of it is commercial. All the property on this side is residential. And he said, you can, but we're gonna lose that one in court because there's so much commercial property there. And I said, well, there's residential property too. Bob's opinion was, y'all know we listen to Bob, is that we would lose it in court. So what we've come up with, talking to the folks, talking to Bob, is to approve the rezone, but with certain conditions. And those conditions would be, as Mr. Martin was saying, and Bob had said all these are fine. There'll be no ingress or egress on Old Stage Road or Shipley Lane from the property. The property will have to be used for the stated purpose from the planning commission meeting, and that would be for a farm and ag equipment store. This is Bob. He said, absolutely. When the man stood up and said that's what it's for, that's what it's gonna be approved for. How much of a buffer zone can we have? Bob said, if you make it too much, we lost one years ago on the landfill down here. He said, how much? I said, you tell me what we can legally do. He said, 25 feet. I said, 25 feet's fine. You heard Mr. Martin mention that. So we've got those three things. Then in addition to those three things, I've got some extra copies if anybody wants any of these. I've got them all listed by parcel numbers, not just by names, because names tend to change. But as Mr. Martin said, Mr. Martin is on the property to the very left. I've got it inked in his parcel number right there. So that's Mr. Martin. He's got the most adjoining the commercial part. The next one is Mr. Walsh, the next one is Mr. Hanson, and then you got Easterly that owns 3 parcels up there. There's other folks here that live on the opposite side of Old Stage Road, and they have a great interest in the not having the access to the property from Old Stage Road. Any of y'all are familiar with that, you know what a terrible intersection that is right there at Highway 11 and Old Stage, and it just can't take another junction of anything coming in there. So Mr. Martin is asking for the clearing and the privacy fence. Mr. Hanson and the others are wanting the vegetative buffer with Leland cypress. Bob Bowman said absolutely, you can request that particular kind that's used real regularly for buffers. So that's a little bit of the background on it. We'll vote on it in a little while, so.
Commissioner Shaver, let's say the gentleman is agreeable to go through with all this, and then after the property is bought, he comes up with, I'm gonna sell it. All right? Can we put in a condition that if he did sell the property, that it would continue with those same restrictions?
All he can do right now is farm and ag equipment store. That's his only option. If it's not a farm and ag equipment store, then the rezone will revert back. I will ask to have the rezone reverted back to R1.
Okay.
So that kind of gives us that hook right there. If he's just trying to buy it to speculate on it, that's fine. But all his rezones for is a farm and ag equipment store. So that was Bob's doing right there. I never even knew we could do that. I was real tickled to hear that. In fact, we have now changed we're in the process, where's Jim? Oh, there he is. We're right now in the process of changing our application, so anybody coming in for a rezone will have a stated purpose on their application. And then you can always include that in the rezone request. So,
Okay.
Anybody else anymore? We got a lot of time in this one.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Shaver.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I've asked Commissioner Satterfield to open the meeting, the newly inducted football coach into the Hall of Fame.
Before you get going, I want to interrupt you right quick.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And we've commission chose and I'm honored to help be a part of it. We wanted to do something special for you as well.
Well, thank you.
It says, whereas Loudon County has a rich history of amazing citizens, and whereas Loudon County strives to recognize and honor citizens that have positive impacts in our communities, and whereas Loudon County, Lenore City, and the Greenback community has been blessed by just such a citizen, and whereas Coach Bill Satterfield began coaching in 1973 in Lenore City, and whereas Coach Satterfield left in 1977, then came to Greenback in 1982, becoming head coach in 1985, Whereas Coach Satterfield led the Cherokees to an undefeated season in the state championship in 1987. And whereas Coach Satterfield ultimately led the Cherokee program for 20 years, missing the playoffs only twice. Whereas Coach Satterfield has been named the Tennessee Football Coaches Hall of Fame, class of 2021. And whereas Coach Satterfield's dedication on the field and in the classroom are second only to his dedication to his wife of 5 decades, Dora Jane, his children and grandchildren. But now, therefore, on the 6th day of December, the year of our Lord 2021, the Loudon County Mayor Buddy Bradshaw, the Loudon County Commission does recognize the service, character, and devotion to Loudon County students and student athletes by Coach Bill Satterfield, and wish to honor and thank him for his incredible service. Do declare this day to be Coach Bill Satterfield Day in Loudon County, and this proclamation be forever recorded in the annals of Loudon County history. Coach, congratulations.
Bill?
Yes.
I've had the opportunity of working as principal with Bill and his friendship, his family, but most important, he has been such an inspiration to so many young people in this county. It's unbelievable. Words can't describe what they still think of this young man today. And Bill, I want to say thank you for having your friendship and your family for 40 years.
It's been a
And I
while.
appreciate
Thank you, David.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
that so
Thank you.
much.
By the way, Bill, here's your copy.
Oh, boy.
And if you want to know, if you saw his picture on Facebook, he got the suit he wore from Click's funeral.
They let me keep it till this morning.
Okay, if you'll open our meeting.
Okay. Y'all would please stand and face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, and we thank you for this Christmas season that we are celebrating. Thank you for sending your Son to this world, Lord, for our salvation. Lord, we pray that you be with us now in this meeting. Help us to make the clear and fair judgments each time that we meet to consider. Lord, thank you for all the friends. Thank you for all the blessings. These things we pray in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Tammy, call the roll.
Brewster. Here. Mears.
Here.
Hurley. Here. Tinker.
Here.
Satterfield.
Here.
Whitfield.
Here.
Coleman.
Here.
Duck. Shaver.
Here.
Waller.
Present. Y'all take it over.
Every time. Okay.
Somebody's got to do it.
Do it like you did most of my trophies.
All right, let the record show all commissioners are in attendance. Next up is the adoption of the December 6th Loudon County Commission agenda. We have a motion from Commissioner Whitfield, seconded by Commissioner Waller. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. Next up is the reading and acceptance of the November 1st, 2021 Loudon County Commission meeting minutes.
I make a motion.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Brewster and seconded by Commissioner Waller. Any discussion? Any changes? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, next up is general public comments. Sarah Thomason from the Loudon County Library Board has signed up to address us tonight.
Yeah, so I'm Sarah Thomason, and I'm here on behalf of the Loudon County Library Board. Want to start tonight by just saying I appreciate the Budget Committee's recommendation for the pay increase for the part-time staff, the ones that have fixed schedules and the ones that have flexible schedules. I hope when that vote comes along a little later on in the meeting tonight that motion will carry. I'm sure excited about that. I also realize that for the agenda tonight that there is going to be consideration of the $60,000 appropriation for the record storage building drawings. I'd just like to request that the library board, library director for the Loudon Public Library be brought into the loop on some of this. I feel like we have some things to contribute, and in particular, since it looks like we're moving in the direction of annexing on to the Loudon Public Library. I think Kate Claybo could really be a wonderful resource for you to bring in. So just wanted to ask you to think of us as partners with that and bring us into the loop. And then I want to take just a couple of minutes, maybe less than that, to brag on our library directors. They work very hard to supplement the money that they do get. They seek out grants all the time. And just recently, all 5 of our county libraries have been notified that they were approved for the ARPA grant. That's the American Rescue Plan Act, I believe. I just wanted to share a couple things, ways that they're planning to use those monies. This is from all 5 of them spread out. So some are replacing their desktop computers with laptops. They're purchasing ADA compliant tables for the computers. They're purchasing additional ebooks, which I know is going to excite all those Libby app users who checked out over 86,000 books through Libby last year. So more are coming in. They're getting some large print books. They're adding reference materials specific to their service area, so I think that's important to notice. One library is expanding their nonfiction area, particularly to help the school. They are going to purchase the No Fear Shakespeare, I like that line right there, No Fear Shakespeare books to help those students with understanding Shakespeare. If anybody wants a special set of crypt notes, you could probably go to the library too. And digitizing microfilm records of old county court documents and newspapers. That is huge right there, folks. And did you see the paper headline in the Sentinel about what Knox County is doing with digitizing their county records? I think that was just today's paper. So we've got somebody working on that here in our public library as well. So I think they're putting that money to good use, and those aren't the only grants that they're pursuing, but they really work hard at that. And so now you know, I'm going to close with a few success stories, right? So listen to this. We helped a woman get her father's ashes exhumed and shipped from California to Tennessee to be buried by her mother. One of our library directors helped get that done. Second one, we helped a woman who was originally from Germany take care of financial matters at a bank in Germany. All of the documents were in German, and our library director used a translation program to find out how to contact that bank, how to get the documents, aligned where they needed to be. And the patron then was able to transfer money from that bank in Germany to pay for her surgery. And then the last one, we helped a military family get their paperwork in order so that the wife and the dog could move overseas with the soldier. Ladies and gentlemen, we are more than books, and I appreciate your attention. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that concludes the general public comments. Next up is 6A, zoning resolutions. Jim, come to the table.
I make a motion we forego the reading a second time since they've both been read and discussed.
Mr. Chairman, I'm gonna make a motion, we approve the requested reason.
Hold on.
Oh, you wanna vote on his?
Yeah, do I have a second?
Second.
We got a second here. Any comments? Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mr.
Okay,
Chairman, I'm gonna make a motion, we approve the rezone with the addition of the conditions as I discussed earlier, and they'll be added, Jim, they'll be added into the, 1, 2, 3, 4th, now therefore, and right under that where it's description of the property, located at 966 Highway 11 East, situated so on and so forth, general commercial C2 district with additions.
I second.
we got a motion by Commissioner Shaver, seconded by Commissioner Duff to approve the rezone with the restrictions. Any discussion on that? Okay, Tammy, call the roll.
Mears,
Aye.
Hurley. Aye. Tinker,
Aye.
Satterfield,
Aye.
Whitfield,
Aye.
Cullen,
Aye.
Duff,
Aye.
Shaver,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
Brewster. Aye.
Okay, that passes with restrictions. Okay. And I see Mr. Martin shaking his head.
Nodding, yes. I understand, thank you.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman, as far as B, located in my district over there, this is just correcting a problem when the development came in and the previous road was changed. This allows the Bright family actually better access to the property where they can build. They were limited, the county had been upkeeping the road. Superintendent Simpson went over there, remeasured everything and made the recommendation to the commission to make it part of the county road system again, not the whole driveway, but just a section of it there. And I wholeheartedly make a motion that we approve.
Second.
okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Satterfield, seconded by Commissioner Shaver. Any discussion on this? Okay, yes is to approve it, no is to not approve it. Call the roll, Tammy.
Hurley. Yes. Tinker,
Yes.
Satterfield,
Yes.
Whitfield,
Yes.
Cullen,
Yes.
Duff,
Here.
Shaver,
Yes.
Waller,
Aye.
Brewster. Aye. Mears.
Aye.
Okay, that motion carries. Resolution passes. Okay, thank you, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
Good evening.
Next up is Mayor Bradshaw.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Situated here, the attached are in the packet are your 2022 commission meeting dates. They've been triple checked, so there shouldn't be more than 2 or 3 mistakes on those.
Right.
Something will no doubt will come up to change it, but those are as we intend to advertise.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second that and just point out, still continuing all the meetings here at the annex, which is, yes, good.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Tinker, seconded by Commissioner Waller to approve the meeting dates.
I had a little discussion here. I would like just some clarification on something. It's just been brought to my attention that we put these dates out and we publicize these dates, but we don't have all these offices following these dates. Why are we doing this if they're not all gonna follow these dates?
Now, are you on holidays or you on meeting
No,
days?
This is meeting.
This
Oh,
is meeting
meeting
dates.
Okay, well, what about holidays?
Yeah, I'll explain that one if you don't mind, Commissioner.
Okay.
We'll come to the next one.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No worries.
Any further discussion on meeting dates? Okay, Tammy, call the roll. Yes is to approve, no is to deny.
Tinker,
Yes.
Satterfield,
Yes.
Whitfield,
Yes.
Cullen,
Yes.
Duff,
Yes.
Shaver,
Yes.
Waller,
Aye.
Brewster. Aye. Mears,
Aye.
Hurley.
Yes.
Okay,
All right, next is the holidays and the rub, I guess, on this one is this year, New Year's Day falls on a Saturday.
yes.
Well, New Year's Day is a 2022 holiday, but typically Saturday holidays are celebrated on Friday. So the original notion was it's a 2022 holiday, do it on Monday. Can't do it, well, all right, let's say back, options were here, Friday, well, that's the last day to pay your taxes get back off your taxes, off your income tax in CHIP's office. So, well, does everybody wanna do Monday? Well, the new tags come out on that Monday, so that was a little bit of a conflict with the county clerk and as well as the county court clerk. Harrelson had a full slate of criminal court cases going. And so you had a little bit of both, and so, but the state has stepped up today, and now they've declared Monday to be recognized as a holiday instead of the Friday. So now everything is pretty much worked out. Carrie was checking on some last minute things. She thinks that's what it's gonna be for her as well. So the 3rd will actually be the holiday.
So it'll be the Monday, the 3rd.
Yes,
Commission meeting will be
The fourth.
the second, Tuesday the 4th.
Did we decide on that?
Is that
Yes,
right?
we did. Look at that.
Okay.
So
All right.
that'll come around every 7 years. So,
Now, what holiday is Monday? January the what?
that'll be New Year's Day.
New Year's Day, January 4th, to New Year's Day.
January 3rd.
Third.
January 3rd, New Year's Day.
I'll make a motion to approve.
That'd be a shock to a lot of people.
All those in favor?
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Tinker to approve the government holidays. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Hurley. Any discussion?
Is this the one you were referring to, Kelly?
Yeah.
Did he
Yeah, he
explain
gave
it?
me the discussion beforehand, yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
I'm sorry, I skipped ahead
Well, and we
earlier.
were gonna, the state hadn't stepped up. The only thing I knew to do was leave it up to each office holder. Like I said, Chip needed to be open on the 31st,
Well,
and
and-
Kerry needed to be open on the 1st.
But I had a problem with that, because why would we post it in the
Confuse the
newspaper
county
and everybody in town believe that we're gonna be closed?
Well,
and
not
then
everybody in
we're
town
open?
reads that newspaper,
Well, I
that's for
mean,
sure. So,
but if it's even on our website,
Right.
I mean, it's posted and then we'd be open and,
But it's not an issue now, thank you.
you know, it's not an issue now,
It's
so
all
that's
come out in the
fine.
wash.
okay, we got a
That's right.
motion and a
Came
second.
out in the cleaning.
Any further discussion? Yeses to approve the government holidays, noes to deny them. Call the roll.
Sutterfield,
Yes.
Whitfield,
Yes.
Cohen,
Yes.
Duff,
Yes.
Shaver,
Yes.
Waller,
Aye.
Brewster, aye, Mears,
Aye.
Hurley.
yes.
Tinker.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes, the government holidays are set.
Would somebody call Washington DC and let them know?
We'll leave that at.
Okay.
For the committees, GIS board, there's no change for those. We can do all three of these if it pleases the commission at the same time. Visitors Bureau Board, I would still,
Who's on that?
Yeah, who's doing that?
I would love to have a volunteer. I'd love
We
to-
already did last time.
You'd like to have a different one?
Who was it? I would love for Commissioner Duff to continue, but he does not want to continue on that one. I would love to have a volunteer on it.
Well, I've had it for the last 10 years. It's time for somebody else to step in.
I vote we deal with that one in January.
Would be like LBJ, if nominated, will not accept, if elected, will not serve.
Well, if it pleases the commission, we'll table
I'm
2
not
and 3
saying
and just do
that.
the GIS board.
What's wrong with animal control, sir?
I haven't asked anybody yet,
Okay.
but yeah, that's one of those committees that meets once in a blue moon
I'll bet they hadn't met in 10 years.
and at least, yeah.
So you want to table all three items?
No, our GIS board's ready to vote. There's
I'll
no
make a
change on
motion to approve
GIS.
the
We'll vote on
GIS.
it and
GIS board.
table 2 and 3.
Okay,
Second.
okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Tinker to approve the GSI board, seconded
me.
by Commissioner Hurley.
Excuse me, I will volunteer to do the animal shelter board.
Animal Control Authority just got a volunteer, so,
Okay.
Okay, and,
Aren't I on that already?
are you?
Yes,
Let's do it in January and check the bylaws, okay.
fair enough.
Okay, well, he said he didn't have anybody.
I'm under strict orders from my wife. If I go to the animal shelter, there's only one of us coming back in the car. But anyway, okay, we got a motion and a second on the GSI board. The other two are gonna be tabled till January. Any further discussion? Tammy, call the roll.
Whitfield,
Aye.
Cohen,
Aye.
Duff,
Who is it?
with the GIS board.
GIS.
it's
We're
tabled.
not
We're not
doing
dealing with the other two.
The other two are tabled. You wanna know who's on it?
He had a second question.
Do you need to know the names?
Who is it? That's going.
No.
For GIS.
It's staying the same.
Yeah.
GIS is staying the same.
So what was your vote?
I vote yes.
Okay, Shaver,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
Brewster, aye, Mears,
Aye.
Hurley,
Yes.
Tinker,
Aye.
Satterfield.
Aye.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Commissioner.
Okay, before I turn it over to Tracy Blair, I'm gonna ask for a vote one way or the other. Our next workshop would be December 20th, 5 days in front of Christmas.
Mr.
We
Chairman,
can do everything on January 4th. I gotta get the right date. And if we have anything urgent, Tracy has said she would send it out to the budget committee. Go ahead, Mr. Mayor.
If something, I thought, we may have done it like this last year, if something important comes up, we can still have our budget committee meeting, if something Tracy needs an emergency,
Yes,
and then bring it to, we can, we can either bring it to the meeting that night, or have a special call workshop 30 minutes early or something, if it's really something big. Typically, this time of year, it's not very big, so.
Mr. Chairman, I would put forth a motion that we do not have the workshop in December, and needing a second on the vote.
I'll do a second.
okay, we got a motion and a second.
Mr. Chairman, I will tell you one thing. I know Jim Jenkins has got 2 rezones that were discussed and approved at their last planning commission. And of course, they moved their planning commission meetings backwards so that they could get it to us. And that was their very first one. They're still trying to figure out exactly how to make it all process, because they do on Tuesday night. Tammy likes to have her stuff by Tuesday at 4. So it's still a little tight. I told Jim what they ought to do, just have a standing position on our agenda. Any items from the planning commission. And if they have it, he can bring it to the workshop. But I don't know about the urgency of that. I'm sure whoever the people are with the rezones would be anxious to think it's gonna be done as soon as possible.
Well, we can do a workshop on January 4th and then.
I just wanted to throw that in. I know he's got 2 rezones.
Okay,
You know what they are? Are they big ones, or are they?
One of them's in my district now.
Is the other one in my David's district?
I can't remember what the other one was. I'm down
If
here.
push comes to shove, it ends up being a big deal, we can table it and just have a special call and vote on it at the workshop in January.
They're not big deals.
2 weeks different, so.
okay, I'm only passing it out and asking this because I've been asked by several commissioners what we plan to do. We have a motion and a second
For
to not have,
For January the 4th, correct?
for January the 4th, to not do the workshop 5 days before Christmas. Okay, we got a motion and a second.
What's on
No,
further?
not January the 4th.
Bless you.
Workshop.
For the
What's on
workshop.
January 4th?
The
No, no,
actual
that's-
commission meeting's on January.
That's January
Right.
4th.
Reconvene on
The
the
workshop's the 20th. If we vote no, then we won't have it.
We won't have the workshop.
Workshop, yes. Can't do away with the commission meeting.
Well,
But are we gonna have a workshop before the commission meeting on the
We'll
4th?
see if we have anything.
If needed.
That's what Buddy was saying. If we have some major come up, then we may have to have a workshop 30 minutes before the meeting or something.
Doesn't that
We
have to
sit
be
here and talk about it for
publicized?
2 hours anyway. What's the time?
But he ought to know that by then.
Yeah, we're not officially canceling the budget committee meeting.
No.
We'll do that the week before.
Yeah.
In case, just in the event there's something drastic.
Okay. Any further discussion? A yes is for canceling the 20th, no is for keeping it.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. We're not making that mistake again. Tammy, call the roll.
Cullen,
Yes.
Steph,
Yes.
Shaver,
Yes?
Waller,
Aye.
Brewster. Aye. Mears,
Aye.
Hurley.
Yes.
Tinker.
Aye.
Satterfield.
Yes.
Whitfield.
Okay, that motion carries unless the end of the world happens before January 4th,
And that's possible.
and that could happen. Anyway, thank you. Tracy Blair, take us through the budget items.
Thank you, sir. The first item on the agenda is consideration of recommendation to increase wages. As listed on the agenda, the recommendation is to increase regular part-time employees to $14 an hour, temporary or seasonal employees to $12.50 per hour, and there are also 3 different wage adjustments in the recycling center, one for the foreman, and then 2 for 2 assistant foremen.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
I got a few questions.
Wait a second, we got a motion to approve and a second by Commissioner Hurley. Any discussion? Go ahead.
When you say adjustments for the recycle center, what does that mean? That their budget's staying the same, or we're giving them more money, or what are we doing?
There's 2 foremen and a number 2, so to speak. The foremen weren't making $16 an hour. And so they bumped them up to where there's some separation as to their rank, and then the additional bump for the number 2 guy.
So are we giving them more money for their budget, or are they just moving money around in their
Oh,
budget?
no.
From their budget,
Yes.
from their budget.
There is an increase
This
in
is their money.
We're increasing their budget.
In their budget, yes, it's included in Fund 116 under here. Under item C, that's part of what Recycling Center's Fund 116. Those amendments for this purpose are included there.
So how much is that costing?
Pardon?
How much is that costing?
Just the part-time in 116?
Just all of them?
All of it in 116?
Part-time's a big one, cause he's got 20, how many did he say?
He has
20 some odd
part-time
part-time.
employees. The entire increase in Fund 116 is $60,000 for this, that you're considering this evening. However, 13,500 of it has nothing to do with these part-time wages, okay? It's something else that the recycling center director requested.
A vehicle.
Yes, it's an increase for a vehicle.
I can't speak for the other, but the center at Greenback, when we instituted the raises from the county, we had employees over there, the foreman over there ended up making 50 cents or less than 50 cents more an hour than the ones that, than the people he's supposed to be overseeing, so we.
And any new hires.
Yeah.
And any new hires.
Yeah.
So my motion was to we increased his pay $1 an hour. And, the rest of it came with the county recommendation.
Okay.
But this is his money, in his account. We're not having to put anything in it.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All three of them at once. A yes is to approve, no is to deny. Call the roll.
Duff,
Yes.
Shaver,
We'll get the Christmas spirit and say yes.
Oh!
That's my last time.
That's the Grinch right there.
Because it will be coming back every month doing the same thing in other departments.
Marley.
My mom
Marley would
works
be
for
proud
the
of
Little
you.
City Library, but I'm doing this on my own conscience, whatever, yes.
Brewster,
Go ahead.
Brewster,
Yes.
Mears,
Mr. Chairman, I think this is the first time that this commission has voted yes in every item tonight, yes.
We're not through.
Yeah, we're not
not
done
done
yet.
Hurley,
We're about there.
Hurley?
yes. Tinker,
Yes.
Satterfield,
Yes.
Whitfield,
Yes.
Cullen,
Yes. Okay. Wow.
The next item is consideration of request to approve $60,000 appropriation for record storage building drawings. This was presented at the workshop last month. And the spreadsheet that was forwarded to you by the clerk's office shows the $60,000 coming from Fund 171.
Make a motion to approve that.
Second on the motion.
Okay, we got a motion by hold on, Commissioner Satterfield, seconded by Commissioner Mears. Any further discussion?
Absolutely. Mr. Tinker sent out a quote from Johnson Architecture for $34,200.
Oh, we did. Did I get the wrong number from the workshop?
No, it's just.
I don't know if you ever got the other option.
I think
You
it was
didn't get
up
the other
to.
option.
Didn't you send us the one he got?
He sent it to me, I gave it to Anita and asked her to send that out to her.
And she
Yes,
did.
she did.
Yeah, I thought you did.
From a different firm.
A different bid.
Johnson Architecture.
Just a different firm, but it's the same specs and everything.
So nearly $30,000 cheaper.
You could put an RFP out on it. And we
Well,
could go up to
that's one of my
60.
questions. is
Apparently
why do
we're
we
not.
Why do we not do
I
that?
don't know that.
Buddy?
You what?
Why are we not doing an RFQ or something to get the best deal here?
For design,
Well, for the engineering, I mean,
Well, so it includes schematic design, design development phase, construction document phase, bidding negotiations, and construction administration phase is what all is included in this quote from both MBI and Johnson Architecture.
this is one of the things, we don't necessarily have to put one of those out.
But if we can save 30,000, why wouldn't we?
Well, I make a motion, we approve Johnson Architecture for $34,200.
Yeah,
Question,
got a motion, a second.
so the $30,000 number is not MBI?
No,
That's Johnson, okay.
Correct.
Well, keep in mind a couple of things, and I'm not trying to derail anything, but this is, presented for amendment in Fund 171. It's in a sub-fund that has no other appropriation in it. There are no other expenditures in this sub-fund as it is. So I said all that to say, if you approve 60,000 for this purpose, and for whatever reason it's cheaper than that, then the lower number is all that will be spent.
but how do we make sure we have an option here? Cause what was
that's-
discussed at the workshop was nothing but MBI, and this came up after the workshop. I would like to see us take an RFQ from whoever wants to make an RFQ. I mean, the courthouse isn't about to be finished, we've got time, if we can save 30 grand, let's save 30 grand.
I have no issue with that. Do you have Susan put it out?
Absolutely.
I'll take back my motion.
I'll have Susan put it out and bring it back to January. I'll send out the numbers in an email when we get them, and if, we have to post for 30 days, so it'll be back January.
Oh,
before it
January,
comes back
February,
through.
yeah. And it, you know, when we started the discussion, do we need to finish the procedural matter?
Well, he's withdrawn motion,
He's
there's a
withdrawn
second hanging out
motion.
there somewhere, but it's dead
Somebody
in the
needs to
water.
withdraw the
Second
second.
on the motion.
Okay.
Okay, so you're
And,
back.
So we just wanted to get the ball rolling, which we certainly have. And the MBI came in, met with us, got some information from us and submitted their proposal. And then Adam, I believe, knew when I sent him the proposal, or when everyone got it, I just sent it to him. He had some people he knew who were interested in it. They then sent a proposal to him, and he emailed it to me, and then I gave it to Anita to send out to everyone else. You know, I don't
think I got that email.
I got it. I mean,
I got
I
it.
received it from Anita.
Yeah,
I have to look for mine sometime.
Well, and I just thought the MBI seemed really high, so I reached out to Johnson
There
Architecture.
are lots of other
Yeah.
firms that may be
let's
interested.
go out for an RFQ or.
Right, I'm just trying to make
RFP or
sure.
whichever.
And my thing with the MBI is they've been awful good to us too, but I think RFQ.
But they can't take advantage of that. We've been good to the MBI,
Well, yeah,
let's put
but
it that way.
let's make sure the services match up as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
No
just,
issue with that.
all I was saying was, I just wanted to, you know, say, I have no preference on anybody that we go with. We wanna do the one that is the best bid. I don't know anybody with any of them. MBI is somebody that we'd worked with before, and so that's kinda how we went with that. But, I too was wondering why we didn't do, how legally we didn't do the RFQs, but I guess we just don't have to.
A request for bid, RFB.
Well, and the email that I sent Tinker has a list of Johnson's projects that they've done. I mean, they do big stuff like athletic department buildings and buck bees and stuff
Well,
with the government
I think
merit.
the safest way to go about it is
Yep.
a bid, because you obviously have a relationship, so we don't want anybody to think that we
Oh, I
gave
mean,
somebody
I
something
just
because
wanted
of
to
your
get the best deal.
relationship.
You're right, yeah.
So a
Well,
bid would
We
be
might get
fair.
a better deal.
It's,
Yeah, it would be fair.
It's good that you got your person reached out to you to put in a bid, because then we see what the disparities can be.
I reached out to them because
I
it
think we
seemed stupid
should.
high, so just.
Yeah, I think we should consider what, Miss Sarah said too. We should have somebody on the library board involved in this too, because we're gonna be over there messing with that building. I know it's our building and things, but I think they need to be involved too, cause there might be logistics there that they can help us with as
Yeah,
far
I think once
as
we get
better
that,
access in here or that way.
Adam, if you'll make the motion, I'll give you a second.
Well, I don't
To do
think we have
what?
to, mayor's
Put
just
out
gonna do
The
it.
mayor's gonna put an
RFP.
RFQ out.
Do you need a vote on that? Do
Is
you
it an
want us to-
RFQ
It's
for
RFQ.
qualifications?
Qualifications are, request for proposals. I don't know which is
Proposal,
the,
I want proposals.
Just
Yeah,
a proposal, I
proposals.
think. Yeah.
we know the
That's what we need.
qualifications.
Yeah,
Well, we already have two proposals.
right. So anybody else wants to put one out, or amend the one they currently have?
Sure.
Just for clarification, have we done business with this Johnson? Is it Johnson?
Johnson Architecture.
John-
Yeah, there's no need for a vote on it.
There's no need on the vote.
Okay.
Okay, then, whatever.
I don't know if the
So,
council.
Mr. Mayor, you can handle it.
I just wanted to make sure we dotted every I. Moving right along.
Mayor, you okay with having Susan take care of that? Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Next month anyway, next month this way.
Next item on the agenda, I think are amendments in all of the funds that are presented. The only one that will not be included is Fund 171 because the previous item was, there was no action on the previous item. So everything except number 8, general capital projects.
Hold on.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second,
Okay, we got a motion to approve all items.
except 8,
What's that?
except 8.
Oh, I know that's already excluded. So we got a motion from Commissioner Brewster. Was it seconded by Commissioner Tinker?
Me.
Oh, Commissioner Satterfield, sorry. Any further discussion? Okay, is money involved? Call the roll, Tammy.
Shaver,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
Brewster. Aye. Mears,
Aye.
Hurley.
Yes.
Tinker.
Because I'm an employee of the Board of Education, I have a conflict of interest in the proposal about to be voted. However, I declare that my argument and my vote answer only to my conscience and to my obligation to my constituents and the citizens this body represents. Aye.
Satterfield.
Yes.
Whitfield.
Yes.
A little
Cullen.
bit.
Yes.
Duff.
Yes.
Okay, they carry. They're
And finally, prior to the meeting, summary financial statements for the month of November were distributed, as well as approved minutes of the October 18th Budget Committee meeting, requesting that these are reflected in the record as distributed to commission.
You may.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Blair. Okay, Commissioner Mears.
Mr. Chairman, I have tonight, they have met all legal requirements of 1 person for a bond and 13 for notaries. I would make a motion that we approve these names.
Second.
I think the one has to be done separate. We had to the last time.
The bond.
Buddy,
Bond.
did we have to do fellas bond separate by itself? So I think we've got to do it because it's a whole different thing with properties and we've got the description. So
Involving property has to be done.
do
separately.
that
I
one
make
by
a
itself.
second on the bond.
Do what?
I make a second on the bond.
There you go.
Okay, we got a motion. Who was the second on it?
Ellis.
Kelly. Okay, we got a motion on A for a bond approval for Barbara Annette.
Yes, sir.
Any further discussion? Call the roll, Tammy.
Waller,
Aye.
Brewster. Aye. Mears,
Aye.
Hurley.
Yes.
Tinker.
Aye.
Satterfield.
Aye.
Whitfield.
Yes.
Cullen.
Aye.
Duff.
Yes.
Shaver.
Yep.
Okay. Now we got the notaries.
13 names
Second.
to be submitted tonight.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Mears, seconded by Commissioner Waller. Any further discussion?
We'll serve some purpose.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed?
I can't believe it tonight, every person voted aye.
Gosh.
Chairman, I have one thing.
Go ahead.
Something in the eggnog.
I missed that in the back.
And there was brought up earlier, not everyone knows, so the podium,
Yeah, where is it?
it was broken,
Yes.
and so I came in.
Mr. Tinker and I worked on it.
Y'all are slow.
Who broke it?
We don't know who.
Old lady.
Go ahead, Mr. Tinker.
Let the man finish.
Let
You
the man
can't
finish.
finish a sentence here.
They want to help it.
I don't need any. Grown man.
Sounds to me like he's got some disease.
Can we just move right along?
Hold on.
Anyway,
Let Mr. Tinker.
I'd like to ask,
Mr. Tinker, finish.
Go ahead, Mr. Tinker.
Good grief.
The students at Greenback are building a new one to replace it, and I'm going out there tomorrow to check on it, so hopefully it'll be back very soon.
Thank you. And I wanted to tell you I
Thank
appreciate it very much for you helping me with that and getting it over to Greenback to do that.
Mr. Chairman, I'll remind everybody, and I'm gonna ask Bill Satterfield to chime in on this one. We've still got several more months left on our PUD moratorium. We've had some outstanding community meetings. The last one was over in Bill's district. Real good meeting. The rest of you that haven't had one in your district yet, if you're wanting to have one, it's astounding what you will hear from the citizens when you have them. I think it's gonna be across the board, so if you're planning to have one, course, we're bumping in close to Christmas now, but there's still time. But if not, after the first of the year, just let me or Adam one know and find us a place to have it, and lo and behold, we'll come down and let people talk, anybody wants to talk about development.
I think they can get Fort Loudon Middle, and the thing is, and I talked to Henry about this, how do we handle, Tellico Village and First District since?
Well, Tellico Village, we don't do planning in.
Right.
No, they're.
So they're
done by
totally
PRD.
outside the scope
Okay,
of it.
so we don't even have.
We don't have to worry about the village.
All right.
Cause they're already.
Other than the fact that they might wanna have some participation, because along with development comes tax problems like building schools and roads and so forth, and they do have to pay taxes.
That's true.
So they might wanna have, put their 2 cents, well, it'd be more than 2 cents if we have to build a new school. But they might wanna have some input on.
Well, anyhow, if y'all are wanting, keep that on your mind, on your schedule.
Okay, we'll look for that right after the first of the year then.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to ask you a question, and this is to Mr. Tinker. We're gonna be having to make some judgments, maybe now, and people on the commission, whoever that may be in the future. But for our information, could we arrange, and we used to do this at times in the past, go around to the schools one day, visit and look at the problems they're having, and put a face with a name. I think it would help, for us to have an understanding of what's going on. Just an idea,
It's fine by me.
because we used to do this quite a
We're
bit.
able to do that at any time. I know some of the, school board members have done that recently, because of some of the discussions that have come up, at Philadelphia and in North
That's what I'm referring
and
to.
Eaton. So I can set it up, or you can just let me know, at our January meeting, I'll see what the interest is, and then I'll have some dates.
Good.
Would that be okay?
Sounds good.
Thank
And
you.
of course, anybody can make an appointment, any
You can
commissioner can
just
come
call
and
me at any time.
see, and Tinker will take you around, buy you lunch and all kinds of
He will
high-end
not buy
stuff.
you lunch.
I make a motion to adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
We got a motion and a second. All in favor of
We need to
adjourning?
get with Mr. Fike.
Say aye. Aye.
Get him-
Any opposed?
Alright, the cheese and the chocolates, whoever it was, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for all our goodies.
There you go.
I got y'all the same thing I got you last year, just a size bigger.
Different
Or
color,
something.
Bigger than nothing.
bigger, different color.
Yeah.
And I gave you the stress reliever.
Hey, buddy.
That is a record.
Merry Christmas,
When,
We do this.
I agree,
if that's somebody that's already asked, I'd be interested in attending that meeting
Oh, yeah.
where the Tennessee education.